to this very insightful panel. I have with me a power-packed panel of experts who are going to talk to us about the COVID-19 crisis and how the youth is joining forces to help India fight COVID-19. Over the last couple of months, we've seen that with the first wave and now with the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've been seeing a lot of youth come together and put in their efforts to help society recover or perhaps help them grapple with the COVID-19 crisis, right from fixing up hospital beds to ventilators to giving support to people who want to get to hospitals. I think the youth have played a very important role as far as the overall COVID-19 relief efforts are concerned. But majority of these efforts have been in silos, and a structured, focused initiative can perhaps help increase the impact of all of these efforts. And that's the reason we're going to be discussing a program which is the Young Warriors Coalition, which could perhaps make a difference in this kind of ecosystem. Now, just tell the audiences a little bit about the Young Warriors Coalition. It's a pan-India movement which engages about 5 million young warriors to combat COVID-19. Now, it was launched on May 10th, 2021. And this movement is primarily being led by the youth with the support of the Ministry of Youth Affairs, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the Ministry of Education, CBSE, Yuva, as well as UNICEF. And apart from these, the program is also supported by a coalition of about 1,750 plus partners across the government, civil society organizations, as well as UN agencies, and even the private sector has come in to address the ongoing COVID-19 crisis. To discuss this and much more, we have with us our guest panel that's right here. We have Madan Patki, who is a strategic advisor, Yuva, UNICEF India, Chetan Kapoor, the Chief Operating Officer at the Tech Mahindra Foundation, and I have with me Ashutosh Sharma, zoology student at the Jammu Central University. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us today on the panel. I want to begin by talking to you, Madan, about this entire program. Considering that this is a one-of-its-kind program, which is looking at engaging more than millions of youth to bring them on board for these efforts. Tell us a little bit about this program. Who all does it entail, and what the targets are for this program at large?
Thank you, Priya, and thank you for hosting us. It's a pleasure to be here along with Chetan and Ashutosh. Yuva itself has its beginnings in 2018, where globally the United Nations and UNICEF launched a program called Generation Unlimited, which is all about putting young people at the center of the universe and figuring out what can we do together to empower them on their journeys of learning, earning, and to create a better world for themselves. In 2019, we launched Generation Unlimited in India as Yuva. Incidentally, this name came from the young people themselves, as Yuva. And the objective of Yuva is again to work with young people and to create a space where we are saying, as a target, we've said in the next 10 years, can we look at 300 million young people as change makers, 200 million young people equipping themselves with relevant 21st century skills, and 100 million of them at least creating a pathway for better economic opportunities. So that is the context of Yuva. We've been in existence the last couple of years. Specifically on the Young Warrior program, this thought came about barely a few weeks ago from our Young People Action Team itself, of which Ashutosh is a part of. We were hearing conversations with young people to say, what are we doing about COVID? Yes, there have been wonderful initiatives by several youth across the country, very inspiring. But at a mass movement level, we were contemplating what can we do to empower every young person to take on the fight against COVID. And if that happens, we will surely win this war, right? And that's how Young Warriors came across as a movement conceptualized with the young people, by the young people. The idea is very simple. As a group of partners, how can we empower every young person sitting in their homes? We are obviously in the lockdown period now. To do three things. One, can you secure yourself and your family? Can you make sure that you have all the information that you need about code-appropriate behaviors, vaccine, registration process, why you should take the vaccine, and what are the X number of things that you need to do if someone falls ill at home, right? And how do you fight fake news and misconceptions? So if you can secure yourself and your family and then go on to secure maybe 10 other friends and families, and then become a community aggregator. And our dream is that if we can equip 5 million young people to secure themselves and 10 other families, then you're talking of 50 million people securing themselves in this fight against COVID. And that is the simple idea that germinated into Young Warrior, right? And we're doing this as a pan-India campaign, as you rightly mentioned, Priya. We've taken a target that in the next 90 days, we need to reach 5 million people. The ambition is very much there. And we're getting a phenomenal amount of support from various partners, and we'll come into that a little later. But very excited to be here. It's super energizing to see the kind of initiatives, the energy that young people are bringing to the table, which is egging all of us to do more.
Right, I'm going to come to specifics in a bit, but Chetan, I want to talk to you about the role of Tech Mahindra Foundation as a part of supporting a campaign like this. If you could run us through what the initial thoughts were when it came to supporting and being a youth support system for an initiative like this.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Priya, and thank you for having me on this panel. Tech Mahindra Foundation has been working with youth as a central part of its agenda almost since inception in 2007, and particularly since 2012, when we launched our flagship skill development program called SMART. SMART being an acronym for Skills for Market Training. We've been working with youth, and till date, we have successfully trained over about 110,000 youth across 11 major cities of India. So when I came to know about Yuva back in 2018 itself, I immediately got excited because, as you rightly said, there's been a lot of efforts, not just COVID, but if you look across in the social sector or outside, been lots of efforts with youth, but there are very few effective coalitions to bring ideas and resources together. And what we saw in Yuva is, and of course, with the backing of UNICEF and now the government itself, I think there's a great opportunity to bring the right kind of stakeholders together. And therefore, when we saw and when I realized the power behind what is possible with something like Young Warrior, we quite literally jumped onto it. So that's how we are here. And I think it very significantly endorses our own agenda of working with youth, equipping them, helping them to do more and do better. Because the sheer energy that the youth brings, it's huge. And currently, with the kind of unprecedented crisis that our country is facing, I think the role of the youth, if channelized in the right manner, in the right direction, it can have a huge snowball effect in terms of making things better for our country.
Right, talking about the energy of the youth, we have with us a very energetic youth, a 22-year-old. From a student, a zoology student, who's also taken up efforts to sensitize the masses about COVID-19 and to help provide relief to so many COVID-19 patients. Ashutosh, thanks so much for joining us today. You've been looking at this on ground, and over the last couple of months, you've been at it every single day. So what does it take for you to really be out there and the kind of challenges that you see in this space?
अगर मैं ऑन ग्राउंड चैलेंजेस किस टाइम पे बात करना चाहूँ तो ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि हर कम्युनिटी के पास अपने ही चैलेंजेस होते हैं, लेकिन अगर काफी जो जनरल चैलेंजेस ज्यादातर लोग फेस कर रहे हैं इस टाइम पे, उसमें से सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज तो यही है कि वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव जो हमारी कंट्री में इस टाइम पे सारी स्टेट्स में चल रही है, उसके बारे में प्रॉपर इंफॉर्मेशन का फ्लो नहीं है अच्छा। एंड ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि इंफॉर्मेशन की जगह मिस इंफॉर्मेशन वो ज्यादा जल्दी निकल रही है वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव को लेके। तो जब तक लोग इस बात को नहीं समझ पाएंगे कि सही इंफॉर्मेशन क्या है, गलत इंफॉर्मेशन क्या है, एंड वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव से डर के वो वैक्सीनेशन नहीं करवाने चाहेंगे, तो ये काफी बड़ा एक मुद्दा बन सकता है आने वाले टाइम में। इसीलिए मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि सही इंफॉर्मेशन का फ्लो करना सोशल नेटवर्क्स पे भी एंड बाकी जगह और भी जितने नेटवर्क्स हैं हम सब जगह भी बहुत जरूरी है इस टाइम पे। इसके अलावा अगर कुछ और बात करनी हो तो जो कोविड-19 के पेशेंट्स हैं जो एक बार पॉजिटिव हो चुके हैं, उनको भी काफी कम इंफॉर्मेशन रहती है कि अब अगर पॉजिटिव हो गए हैं तो क्या करना है। ज्यादातर जो बेसिक अप्रोच होती है, तो वो बिना हॉस्पिटल को पहले इन्फॉर्म किए डायरेक्ट हॉस्पिटल में पहुंच जाते हैं, बेड्स लेने हैं या फिर मेडिकेशंस लेनी है, जिससे chaos का माहौल पैदा होता है। तो कोविड पेशेंट्स जो पॉजिटिव हो रहे हैं उनको कैसे एक प्रॉपर चैनल के थ्रू चलना है, इसकी इंफॉर्मेशन भी नहीं। तो ये जो दो चीजें हैं, ये तो बहुत बेसिक होनी चाहिए इस सिचुएशन में, जो कि नहीं इफेक्टिवली फ्लोट कर रही है इस टाइम पे। एंड जो एक्यूरेट इंफॉर्मेशन है वो हमें मालूम है कि काफी सारी साइट्स हैं जहाँ पे हमें गवर्नमेंट वेरीफाइड साइट्स हैं, इनफैक्ट कि WHO भी काफी कुछ डालते रहता है कोविड-19 के ऊपर, या फिर जो भी नए एसोसिएटेड डिजीज हैं, ब्लैक फंगस के बारे में या कुछ भी। लेकिन सभी को वो साइट्स को एक्सेस करना नहीं आता है, एंड सभी को ये भी नहीं पता है कि कौन सी ऑफिशियल साइट्स पे भरोसा किया जाए। इंस्टेंट जो भी सोशल मीडिया पे फॉरवर्ड हो रही होती हैं चीजें, उन पे लोग ज्यादा जल्दी बिलीव कर लेते हैं। यूट्यूब पे कोरोना वायरस को कैसे ठीक किया जाए उसकी वीडियोस को देख के वो ज्यादा खुश होते हैं एज कम्पेयर टू अगर कोई डॉक्टर का कहीं पे कोई इंटरव्यू सुन रहा हो कि इसको कैसे ठीक करने के लिए इसको क्या क्या आप कर सकते हैं। तो ये एक बदलाव लाने की जरूरत है, ये बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है इस टाइम पे, एंड ये मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है कि ये काफी बड़ा चैलेंज है इस टाइम।
Right. Thanks, Ashutosh, for your comments. Madan, I want to come to you to understand where the program stands at this point in time. It's been more than 3 weeks since the launch of this program. I believe there are thousands of youth signing up every single day as we speak. The number is increasing by the hour. So what kind of engagement have you been able to bring on ground?
Yes, we've got let me take it at two levels. One is the action that's got built up, and what are we actually doing on the ground. We've had phenomenal response from various segments of the society. We are now partnering with Ministry of Youth Affairs, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Education, CBSE, Atal Innovation Mission, and recently we've been working with UGC, AICTE as well, who are spreading these messages to various youth networks across the country, including college students, school students, etc. Apart from this, we have over about 2,000 odd civil society partners from every nook and corner of the country signing up to say, in our communities, in our networks, we will amplify this message and onboard youth. Over the last few weeks, we have reached over about 300,000 youth who are actively engaging with us from across the country. And you can see several hashtags trending on social media of Young Warrior. So we've got some very cute videos being made by young people on what does it take to be a young warrior, how do you do that, what is COVID appropriate behavior. So we've been able to mainstream these conversations with a lot of young people. We made it super easy for the young people to participate. Everybody starting off by taking a pledge. A pledge could be as simple as a share on social media saying, I pledge to be a young warrior, and people are tagging their friends along with it. We have them to just send a WhatsApp message. We have a WhatsApp bot called UReport, which is developed by UNICEF globally. We're leveraging UReport in a big way, which is a chatbot where tasks are provided. We have also opened it up on Telegram, on Facebook Messenger, and we will talk about it more. But obviously, we need to bring in a lot of people who don't have access to internet. So we have it open on community radios and IVRs as well. So I think the way things are going, this is definitely snowballing into a massive movement. And we're very clear that this is a movement. This is not a campaign. This is not an initiative. This is owned by all of us, and it is all of our energies that have to flow into it to secure our country against COVID.
Right. Chetan, I want to come to you in terms of what a larger organization can do on this front, considering that there are so many partners out there who join forces to be a part of this coalition. So as a corporate, what do you think should be done from your perspective to help improve the kind of engagement with the youth?
Well, I think corporates such as us can only be facilitators in a movement such as this. The task has to be done by the youth themselves, including leading from the front. And I'm glad that, as far as Young Warriors is concerned, from what I've been able to understand is that even leading it is being done by the youth, and I think they're the best place to do it because, as someone who's been in the social sector for a long time, working with children and with youth, I understand the importance of peer influence, something which is hugely underestimated in our scheme of things. And I think especially for youngsters, people at that age, their ability to influence each other is far more actually than those of adults such as us to influence them. And I think if something like Young Warrior can really leverage that ability of youngsters to influence each other, I think it can lead to a huge impact. And something which we as a corporate will be more than happy to support in every possible way. As I said, while Tech Mahindra Foundation has its program clearly defined in the form of working with youth, which we do through the program that I mentioned. But if I were to look at the larger company that I represent, Tech Mahindra, it has close to 100,000 employees working in India, of which at least about 70 to 80% would be, in the 25 to 35 age group. And these are people who are influencers in their own rights, even if it's in a limited way, but they are influencers. They're all on social media. I think youngsters take to social media much better, much faster than we do. And I think that's something which can be leveraged rightly. And I think what Ashutosh just mentioned is very significant because it's more than information, it's misinformation is what we've seen in this entire, era of pandemic, which has literally, ruined a lot of good attempts. But if we are able to channelize this into ensuring that the right information is available to the people who need it, it can make a huge difference. I'll give you an example from within Tech Mahindra, what we did. In fact, just after the second wave really hit us, as early as around 25th April, we realized the importance of ensuring that for people who are looking for resources, who are fighting COVID at home personally, there is just an overload of information out there, where they can get oxygen, where they can get remdesivir, so on and so forth. But what was really needed was what we call HAT, helpful, authentic, and timely information. Okay, so we created an internal SOS Seva. That's what we call it. It's again WhatsApp based, which was entirely managed by a young task force, whose job it was to ensure. So through this, people used to raise tickets. Anybody who needed help, plasma or an ICU bed or whatever, they could quickly reach out. And there was a team of, at one point in time, we had 200 volunteers working on it. Okay, 200 of our associates in Tech Mahindra who would come forward through a Google form. They were working on it. Each ticket was picked up, and then there was a team which was working to ensure that they search for information and provide it in a timely manner. Till date, we've managed to successfully close close to 1,000 tickets. This was, mind you, only internal, only for the TechM employees and their. Now that's the power of right information. Through this process, many lives have been saved quite literally because we managed to provide the right information. So if you just think about it, that an idea such as this, if you're able to scale it up nationwide, okay, imagine the power that it can have. And I think with youth leading it from the front, it's got tremendous potential. I think it's pretty obvious that this pandemic, while it has really taken a toll on a lot of us, but it's also left us with some very important lessons. And I think this is definitely one of them where we have to take the youth along with us in order to really make a difference.
Sure, I'm going to come to both of you to discuss about the effectiveness on how to improve the overall effectiveness of the program. But before that, I want to come to you, Ashutosh. So far you've been doing ad hoc initiatives, but at this point in time, this comes as a very structured initiative because it's got the backing of organizations across stakeholders from all across the board. So what I wanted to understand from your perspective, what the benefits of having such a structured approach would be for a person like you who's been on ground for the last couple of months.
Yes, तो कोविड-19 की जब सेकेंड वेव ने हिट किया इंडिया को, तब एक और अवेयरनेस कैंपेनिंग एंड हमें पता चला कि अभी भी लोग काफी चीजों में पीछे रहते हैं, भले ही पैंडेमिक को हुए 1 से 1.5 साल से ज्यादा हो चुका है, लेकिन अभी भी लोगों को काफी चीजें जो है कोविड-19 के बारे में नहीं पता थी। तो हमने जो रिसेंटली अवेयरनेस ड्राइव की थी कंडक्ट, उसमें हमने ब्लड डोनेशन के बारे में बताया या फिर वैक्सीनेशन के बारे में बताया, एंड काफी कुछ और चीजें जैसे ब्लैक फंगस जो है वो क्या डिजीज है, कैसे वो कोविड-19 से रिलेटेड है, या फिर ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि और कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं जो कोविड-19 के रिलेशन में आपको ध्यान रखनी है, अपने घर पे ध्यान रख सकते हैं, या फिर अपनी सोसाइटी में कैसे कोविड-19 के लिए आपको इनेक्ट करना है। तो इन सब चीजों को करने के लिए एक तो काफी रिसोर्सेज की जरूरत थी, क्योंकि घर बैठ के भी किया है काफी कुछ, लेकिन ऑन ग्राउंड भी जाने की कभी कभार जरूरत पड़ जाती है। एंड जो रिसोर्स क्रिएट करना पड़ता है इसके लिए, मतलब जो हमें डेटा क्रिएट करना पड़ता है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल हमने वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव के लिए डेटा क्रिएट करना था, तो उस डेटा क्रिएशन में काफी टाइम कंज्यूम हो जाता है। लाइक अगर एक एफर्ट कोई भी अपनी लोकेलिटी में देना चाहता है, फॉर एग्जांपल वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव है, तो वहां पे ज्यादा टाइम, मतलब 1-1.5 हफ्ता तो यही लग जाता है कि वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव का जो कंटेंट है वो कैसे लाया जाए, कौन कौन सी ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट्स हैं जहां से हम डेटा कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, कौन कौन सी साइंटिफिक रिसर्चेस हैं जिसको हम कंसिडर कर सकते हैं, ये सब कुछ। तो ये डेटा कलेक्ट करके फिर उसको ड्राफ्ट करके बना के उसको फॉरवर्ड करने में भी काफी टाइम लग जाता है। तो जब यंग वॉरियर का इनिशिएटिव आया, तो सबसे बड़ी एक एड ये हो चुकी है अब कि वन स्टॉप शॉप यंग वॉरियर की, इसमें आपको हर चीज का डेटा मिल जाएगा, जो भी कोविड-19 से रिलेटेड चीजें हैं, जिसके बारे में भी इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए। तो जो नीड थी हमें कि हमें अगर कुछ करना है तो हमें डेटा बनाना पड़ेगा पहले वेरीफाइड सोर्सेज से ले के, तो वो अब इस फ्रेमवर्क की वजह से वो नीड जो है लगभग खत्म हो चुकी है। अब हमें ज्यादातर क्या करना है, वहां से वेबसाइट से देखना है कौन सा हमारे से रेलेवेंट डेटा, कौन सा हम चाहते हैं इस पर सर्कुलेट करने के लिए, कौन सा हमें आगे फॉरवर्ड करना अपनी अपनी लोकेलिटीज में, एंड उसको इजीली हम फॉरवर्ड कर सकते हैं। तो रिसोर्स जनरेशन एक तो कम हो गई है, हमें अपने सेल्फ के लेवल पे ज्यादा काम करने की जरूरत नहीं इसके ऊपर। दूसरा, वन स्टॉप शॉप, जैसे मैं ऑलरेडी कह चुका हूँ कि जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन आपको कोविड-19 से रिलेटेड चाहिए वो आपको यहाँ पे मिल जाएगी। दूसरा एक और पॉइंट जो इसका है काफी अच्छा, वो है कि ये डेडिकेटेड प्लेटफॉर्म है। अब जितनी भी साइट्स हैं या फिर जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन देती हैं कोविड-19 के ऊपर, इनमें से कोई भी साइट ऐसी नहीं थी जो सिर्फ और सिर्फ कोविड-19 की इंफॉर्मेशन देती है। ये काफी सारी और इंफॉर्मेशन भी देती है, हेल्थ इश्यूज के बारे में बताती है, एंड इनफैक्ट कभी कभार डेटा माइनिंग करते हुए यहाँ पे बहुत कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है। कभी कोई इंसान किसी वेबसाइट पे आता है, कुछ पढ़ने के लिए आता है, कुछ और पढ़ के वहां से चला जाता है। तो इस डेडिकेटेड वेबसाइट की वजह से कोविड-19 पे प्रॉपर फोकस हो रहा है तो। और जो जैसे मैंने पहले भी कहा कि हमें अपने खुद से डेटा सेट बनाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, तो ये काफी कह सकते हैं कि बेनिफिट्स थे इस प्लेटफॉर्म के। साथ में लोगों को और भी काफी चीजें समझ आई हैं। जैसे लोग सोचते थे कि कोविड-19 के लिए अवेयरनेस के लिए या फिर कुछ भी काम करने के लिए, वॉलंटियर करने के लिए हम रिस्क पे हो जाएंगे, हम कैसे कर सकते हैं, पूरी दुनिया में स्टेट्स कुछ नहीं कर पा रही है, कोई नहीं कर पा रहा है, तो हम क्या ही हेल्प कर सकते हैं, हम तो भाई छोटे बच्चे हैं या फिर हम तो अपने घर में रहते हैं। तो इस प्लेटफॉर्म ने उनको एक और चीज भी सिखा दी है, क्या कि जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको कहीं बाहर जाके सब कुछ काम करना है, आप अपने इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे भी तो एक्टिव वर्क कर सकते हैं। क्योंकि कोविड वॉरियर्स हैं जो वो 4 स्टेजेस पे वर्क करते हैं। सबसे पहले इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे, उसके बाद अपने घर पे, उसके बाद अगर चाहें वो तो अपने कम्युनिटी लेवल पे, मतलब आगे पीछे का मोहल्ला देख लिया थोड़ा बहुत, और ऐसे ही करते करते जो बहुत ही ज्यादा वॉलंटियरिज्म शो कर सकते हैं वो कंट्री लेवल पे भी काफी कुछ किया जा सकता है।
Sure. Ashutosh, we'll come back to you to get some more points. But before that, I want to bring in both Madan and Chetan here. In terms of how can this program be effectively, used to reach the youth out there. So, if both of you could perhaps give me 2 top points on how this program can be used effectively to, to reach out to the maximum number of people and to provide relief. So, what according to you would be these 2 points? So, if we could begin with you, Madan.
Sure, Priya and Ashutosh, I really love the way you were explaining the whole benefits from what you see, and that's exactly the intent that we had envisioned when we designed it. So glad to see you resonating with that. On your question, Priya, at a partnership and at a movement level, apart from all the things that we are trying to do to amplify the message, we are doing two key large initiatives as well. One is, how do you create large-scale capacity building sessions, right? It's just not enough to read an article or to get questions. We are trying to do a series of webinars on a daily, weekly basis, where people from across the country can log in or dial in, listen in, or through a community radio learn, to have experts speaking about some of the topics that Ashutosh was talking about, COVID appropriate behavior, vaccine hesitancy, how to interpret and look at fake news, so on and so forth. So we believe that having a variety of partners offering a range of capacity building sessions will really increase the effectiveness of the program. The second thing that we are very cognizant, and that's another large initiative that we are mounting, is where we are asking young people to take the fight on COVID. We also realize that young people have also themselves got affected in a variety of ways with COVID. It could be directly COVID-related issues at home, or the whole stress around exams, not meeting people, not meeting friends, staying at home, etc., etc. So one other large initiative that we are on the verge of rolling out is a mental well-being and safe spaces initiative, where counseling sessions, peer counseling networks, peer networks by young people will be formed, where if I as a youth am feeling very frustrated, I know where to go and speak to friends and somehow get a vent to my feelings, right? And be heard. So I think that will also increase the effectiveness of the program. So these are the other initiatives that we are planning alongside the larger movement of triggering as many young people to join the fight, so that we can increase the effectiveness of youth and their own well-being in this whole space.
Right. Chetan, do you want to go in?
Yeah, well, I think I completely agree and resonate with what Madan just mentioned. Just to add to this, I think, based on what I've said earlier, is that it's the energy and the agility of the youth that we need to really work with. In fact, the onus is on us to kind of match their pace, because that's what's really required. Also, one thing that I would want to point out is that, as we've seen, because I've worked in campaigns earlier, we've seen that all campaigns usually take a certain life cycle. That there is a lot of burst of energy initially, there's a lot of people who come together. I think the real challenge will be to sustain it, because we know that the shadow that COVID is going to cast is going to be a long one, especially on sections of the society, on the poorer sections of the society. I think the socioeconomic fallout of what we've seen in the last year or so, and particularly in the last about 8 weeks, is going to be fairly significant. So it is going to be a challenge to ensure that we are able to sustain these energies for a long period of time. And I think it's very important, therefore, for the young warrior movement to keep innovating, coming up with new things, making sure that things that tickle the interest of the youth, so to speak, those become an integral part of the campaign going forward. Because at the end of the day, it is the youth who are going to really make this happen and carry it live. So I would be happy to work with Madan, you and your team, to see how we could make this more sustainable, because that's going to be the challenge.
You're absolutely right, Chetan, and we need to sustain this campaign. This is not just a single spike, flash in the pan. We need to sustain the energy, and especially, as you rightly said, I really hope and wish that as many corporates as Tech Mahindra come forward, because, as you said, there's so much of youth energy within these corporations themselves that can be leveraged for in this fight against a larger good. And we need to have waves of such campaign running. I think that's the need of the hour.
Before I come to Ashutosh, one final question for Madan. I want to ask you, in terms of what kind of innovation can we expect over the next 60 to 70 days? As Chetan mentioned, that there is need for more innovative means to ensure that this campaign sustains over a longer period of time. So what, according to you, would be the top 1 or 2 things that you would do in terms of innovation to sustain this kind of campaign over the next 60 to 70 days?
A few things that are, as at a larger level, this campaign is evolving on a daily basis. Every day we're getting inputs from young people. Every day we are getting inputs from a bunch of partners, and we are really turning on a dime. We're responding very fast. However, one of the things that is coming our way, Priya, is I'm amazed at the number of innovations that youth are doing already in the country. There have been somebody who set up. I've read stories about a couple of young people creating an oxygen bus. I've read stories about young people creating a plasma helpline, right? I mean, there are people doing stuff beyond the call of duty. One of the things we are thinking of at YUVA, along with partners, is to start recognizing and celebrating these youth innovators. People who have gone and really taken on the challenge and innovated to find solutions. I'm sure, in the newspapers, we are reading stories every day, but there is no single place. So I visualize something called like the Bravery Awards that we celebrate every year. Can we recognize youth bravery awards in the face of COVID? And can we celebrate those heroes? Because every hero can inspire thousands of other youth to say, hey, if this guy can do it, why can't I do it? That's one. Secondly, I think we are also trying to find innovative ways of reaching across the digital divide. Where we all know social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. How do we really reach out to the most internet or media dark areas? Can we use radios? Can we use print media? Can we use IVR systems? And how do we really create an engagement with youth? It's just not a message, but how can they communicate and be a part of this thing is, again, something that we're working very hard with partners. So I think if we continue the inspiration process, and if we continue expanding the reach to go far beyond the digital realm, I think this campaign will have a life of its own.
That's a very interesting point made by Madan, saying that we need to find ways to reach out to youth in remote areas. Connectivity is a major challenge that India faces in lots of parts of the country. So, having a right connectivity platform will also help improve the kind of engagement with the youth in different areas. Ashutosh, final comments from you in terms of what more you would like in terms of support from the government and other agencies that have formed this movement. From your perspective, maybe 1 or 2 things that you require in terms of support going forward.
Yes, I think जो गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं या फिर जो भी कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं इस मूवमेंट में, वो रिसोर्सेस दे सकते हैं. जो फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स हैं, खासकर जो यूथ फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स की तरह काम करना चाहता है, जैसे कि अगर किसी जगह पे हमें पता चलता है कि कोविड-19 के केसेस में काफी राइज है, तो उस जगह को हम कंटेन करके उसकी पूरी की पूरी जगह की प्रॉपर टेस्टिंग कर सकते हैं अगर यूथ फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स की तरह काम कर सकते हैं. एंड जो ये पार्टनर्स हैं, ये इक्विप कर सकते हैं ऐसे टूल्स के साथ जिसके यूज करके यूथ जो है वो इजीली ऐसा काम कर सकता है.
All right, on that note, gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing with us all the insights that will help bring huge amount of success for this program, and we do hope that this lovely initiative gets what it really deserves and gets the kind of engagement of all the youth all across the country, including the remote areas of the country. Thank you so much for your perspective and for your time. Thank you to the audiences for tuning in and watching this very, very interesting panel.